job is always causing stress. All I ever do is work, I don't get no rest. I know Thursday night is on the way. Down in troubled waters, Mike's where the pay. Pour me a drunk donkey IPA. Let that magic mango chase my blues away. I know that I'll be among my friends. The mic's where the page goes live again. There we go. I ran into a friend uptown. Said that things were bad and he was feeling down. I told him Thursday's on the way. Meet me at troubled waters, Mike's where the page. We'll be pouring drunk donkey IPA. Let that magic mango chase our blues away. We know that we'll be among our friends. Little Mike's where the page goes live again. There we go.
Oh, what's up? Yeehaw! I just thought of Bo and Luke Duke there for a minute. Friday nights with Daisy and Uncle Jesse. Yeehaw! What about, remember Hee Haw? I remember watching Hee Haw. Hee Haw was comical. So anyway, I wanted to play some special winter scenes for everybody since hot is the topic. And I filmed this a couple years ago driving outside of Gatlinburg on 321. Is that the road, right? 321? And heading off towards Interstate 40 there. So that's subliminally cooling things down. For sure. Oh my God. Nothing like posting temperature maps and getting into heated arguments with people. So today we're going to stick to dogs and tropics after some heat maps. All right, well, this is the Daily Brew, everybody. We talk weather. We've been streaming live since 2016, right from this same chair. Well, I might have got a new chair since then. But the same computer and monitors. A few dogs along the way. This is the new one, Longo. We've had Rusty. We've had birds. We've had rats. We've had... What was that other thing we had?
Guinea pig.
Guinea pig. We had a guinea pig once. So this is a little Longo. And well, we showed Louie yesterday. My brother yesterday said, "You never show Louie." I'm like, "Well, we kind of do." So last night's video showed Louie. He wasn't sad. Everybody thought he was sad. He was patiently waiting for his turn, which he got. And we had Louie on yesterday. So I wanted to show Longo today. Longo was getting a little worked up because Louie's down here and he wants to play now. So maybe we'll grab Louie here. Well, anyway, our Daily Brew, like I said, we've been streaming to you live. Hey, it's funny. Every other day, it's like 1 minute. All right, let's say goodbye because you're very hyper. Let's show everybody how you give Daddy kisses. Come on. Don't play hard to get. There's a little one. He's pretty dang calm. Only 11 weeks old, and he's already pretty calm. Look at that. You good boy. We'll pull him up later. we'll bring Louie in a little bit. So anyway, we got some exciting things coming up. We got a meet and greet going to be happening at ABC, hopefully on the other coast. Details on that soon. We got our second year Spaghetti Model IPA coming out. Thanks to Tampa Bay Brewing Company. We'll be having a party 1 month from today on a Friday, August 29th, 5 to 7 p.m. here at West Chase. So come hang out. Drink some Spaghetti Model IPA, available at ABCs across the state, which we all love, right? So big thanks to ABC for all that they do for MWP and more. Let's keep this on here while we say hello for a few minutes. This is our water vapor map. So we do have a little something to talk about at Tropics. A little more interested today than yesterday. This is how the Tropics work. 3 days ago interested, then 2 days ago not. Then another day ago interested, then yesterday not. And then back to, this is called windshield wiper effects. And I'm not going to waste my feed telling everybody why you should or shouldn't follow other people. People will find out who they want to follow. And just to put the disclaimer out there, I am not a meteorologist, okay? So if you're just tuning in, you will not have official information from me. We speculate, we show long range, we talk shenanigans, and I do show official information. So, but just realize that. So don't go say, well, Mike said. Well, Mike's just a Monday morning quarterback. But it's hot outside, Brenda. Yep. So we'll say hi for like 4 more minutes. 9:30, we'll get to the nitty-gritty. So if you got to go pee or anything. But Teresa, what's up? Morning, Richard Reimer. What's up, my buddy over there? James, Karen. How's it going over on YouTube land? Marianne. We're streaming live on X also. Hello, X folks. TikTok is down again, so we're on just those 3. And then, of course, our MWP crew. Jody, good morning. Bertha, good morning. We have a private little chat over there for our diehard fans. Big weather family over there. So, hello, everybody. Rain is coming. Very isolated rains. Somebody's going to Margaritaville Resort. Oh, look at you. Enjoy, Lisa Clark. So, hey, Keem Davis, good morning. Freeport, Keetra, good morning. We love the Bahamas. My aunt and uncle used to take a boat to the Bahamas from Fort Lauderdale. That'd be kind of a bucket list kind of thing. Oh, my God. And Julie got me some coffee today. And I don't know, it is the most strong coffee I think I've ever tasted from Dunkin' Donuts. This is absolutely offsetting my blood pressure medicine right now. So if I make a funny face every now and then, it's that coffee is so strong.
I put 5 shots of espresso in it.
She ordered 5 shots of espresso. I like my shots. Oh, what's going on? Jack, I like that. Thank you, buddy. Tanya, good morning. Palmetto, my birthplace. Tampa broke a record. Yep, 100 degrees. How about that heat index yesterday? 120. But thanks to Deb. Hey, I want to say hello to my good friends at Storm Smart, by the way. Automatic roll down hurricane protection for windows, back porches. So awesome. Hurricane Ian had nothing on their screens. They had one picture of a boat that actually hit one of their screens and didn't damage the garage. It hit the boat. It hit the protection. The cat. Well, they can't officially say Cat 5. I think they're rated to like something cat, but unofficially they might withstand Cat 6. But yeah, we're good to go, man. So we got a little bit of interesting stuff in the tropics. So this is it. This is what we got. So look at this. Persistent convection. Okay, look at this right here. This is definitely got my eye because it hasn't dried up yet. Now, when these things splash down off the coast of Africa over there, you usually give them a couple days to see what they're going to do. And sometimes they fizzle away, and sometimes they don't. So right now it's hanging on. No mark from the National Hurricane Center, however. So this is not anything to stress about. A blob of rain is not a hurricane. Low pressures aren't hurricanes. Low pressures happen. They go across areas. So, but this is definitely what we're watching. I will tell you though, the pattern that I'm seeing that we've talked about a lot this season already, we have a strong high in place, okay, but we also been seeing a lot of fronts too, and this weakens these highs temporarily. And what this system here is kind of doing is trending a little more north, but then we got this big question mark, what's going to happen around here, okay? Some of the models having it doing this, some of it have it fizzle, some of them are actually having to doing this and getting through the Gulf. So they're definitely something to watch. It's not official. I hope don't go to your favorite Met and say, I can't stand Mike because he hypes everything. Because they tell me, I'm friends with them all. I love it. Now, hey, I got your message, Valrico. Is it, how do you pronounce your name? Radich? I like your name there. I'm terrible with names. I mess up Mike. Well, Justin Danger just did a cool video. I don't know if you saw it or not. He did a nice shout out, my boy Justin Danger. You know, listen. But he called me like Mike. He didn't say Mike. It was Mike with an A. Mike. It was that Fort Walton Beach accent. Mike. So look at Justin's video of him yesterday. But all right. So anyway, that's what we got. And plus, you know, the puppy's doing good, Kitri. Yes. Plus, we're going to talk about Pacific here. So this was last night's weather real quick. I want to show you this. We talked a lot about that possible derecho. I don't know if it's officially was a derecho or not, but there was some pretty nasty tornadoes. There was a lot of great footage. I saw my buddy Brandon Kopic had a live stream. And anyway, we had a lot of, any of my brew crewers watch any of that? I know, Brandy, you like watching that stuff. Dale, did you see the tornado coverage yesterday in the Dakotas? But we did have hurricane force winds. We had Minnesota, you know, I don't know if it's official or not, 117, but we had an 87 there in Iowa. We had 87, South Dakota, 85. So it was windy. That's straight. Those are National Weather Service gusts. So pretty strong winds. Okay. Real quick on the temperature, though, and then we're getting into hurricane stuff because we go live tomorrow. Cortez Clothing Company. I would love that, Cortez. What you got? I'm all my girls, too, though. They might appreciate it more. Whatever you want, Cortez. I appreciate it. And we'll do a shout-out. We'll show you. But I got a P.O. box there on the website. If you want to just do that, that'd be cool. Thank you. Angelica from Ormond Beach. Jim Kirk, thanks for the shout-out to ABC. Thank you, Laura. Cindy wants to know, if anything does develop, what days would it be expected? Well, 1st and 2nd, it would be nearing the islands, the Lesser Antilles, northern, Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands. 4th, 5th would be somewhere around the Bahamas. That would be the day to really, and next Tuesday could be sitting right over the Bahamas. Tuesday next week. That's only 7 days from now. So, but let me do my little soapbox real quick here. Real quick, just a lot of debate. So this 100 right here, you can see this was the 100 in Tampa right here, right there. Boom. That's the airport. So, man, a lot of arguments and a lot of nasty arguments, actually. First off, that sensor's been there for dozens of years. I don't know how long it's been there, but it hit 99 a couple times. It hit 100 on Sunday. Everybody said, well, there was a jet there. Maybe there was. Somebody said, well, it shouldn't count because it's around all that asphalt or concrete. And it shouldn't count because it's by the roads. Maybe you're right. I mean, but my argument for this particular day is we had 99 here on the water at Safety Harbor, St. Pete. We had 99. We had 98. We had a 98. We had a 98. We had 101. We had 100. We had 101. We had 100. We had 100. We had 100. I sound like an auctioneer. How do I give me 101, 102, 100? We got 100. We got 100. Give me 100. We got a 101. We got 102. Hey, we got 101. We got 99. We got 97. We got 101. So, maybe the sensor's bad. Yes. Who's this guy? Who's this? Oh, never mind. It's my boat company. Okay, I got it. Sorry. I get it. If I don't save a text, if I don't say the name on a text, then it gets lost, and then the number retypes me, and I don't recognize the number. So anyway, that's all my point is. It was hot Sunday, okay? Whether or not that 1 degree is because of a jet engine or not, it was still hot. So, I mean, I think it was 100. I mean, come on, we had hundreds everywhere. These are real official National Weather Service, by the way. These are not backyard webcams and weather stems. These are actual National Weather Service data. So there you go. A little cooler over here. Why? Because we had a little bit of sea breeze on Sunday. Just a little bit. All right, that was Sunday. Enough of that. Let's talk about other things. Here's today real quick. Obviously, I think it's our first extreme heat warning. I don't know. We got the alert at 1:45 a.m. It was great. Actually woke up for that one in my 71 degree AC house with $800 a month power bill. But I had to keep it cool. I'm sorry. I just pay for comfort. But not like getting woke at 1:45 in the morning to be told it's going to be hot today. Anyway, it's going to be hot. So 115 plus heat indexes again. And that's whole Mississippi region here, obviously. Everybody's hot. All right, enough of that. Tropics. Let's talk about it. There's my alert, by the way, 1:45 in the morning. I'm like, did the camera go off out front? No, it was the heat alert. And here's the last one I posted on the heat. I keep telling you I'm not going to have the heat anymore, and then there's another heat graphic. Okay, so this one is pivotal weather. I forget that I pay for pivotal weather. I love Tropical Tidbits, number one. I love weathernerds.org, number two. I love weather models. I pay for weather models. This one's I pay for. It's a little harder to, but this was your heat index for today, and what I thought was interesting was there's hundreds every single inch except for the mountains. So the mountains are in the upper 90s. So if you want to escape the 100 triple-digit heat index today, everybody in this area is getting triple digits. Everybody's getting triple-digit heat index today. Nobody's not getting triple hit unless you head to the mountains, and it's going to be a nice 95 there. This just came out today. This is a new long-range hazard outlook map, and look at that rain coming. Heavy rain at 7:31. Heavy rain 8:1. Heavy rain 8:2, 8:4. Now, kind of a hint of things if there was something in the tropics to talk about, okay? We're going to have a lingering front line, right? That's going to create this little bit of lift, that's this wave, okay? It's been the story of the year. Every year I talk about this. The year of Irma, we had a building high pressure that year, and the early models had Irma missing Florida and going as a fish storm, but that high pressure built in. As it built in, it made Irma farther off to the west than some thought. High pressure that year was dominating. Ian that year, we had a lot of fronts like we're seeing now. And I remember saying specifically that year that if we were to get a late season system, that more likely it's going to pull up and turn because we've had a lot of fronts this year. But we also have a strong Bermuda high because of El Nino neutral. So that high builds in quick. We get these temporary fronts. I posted an image weeks ago now showing past storms that came up around that Caribbean. Dorian, Andrew, Gene, Francis, others, Charlie, I think I said that. But that pattern is a lift, and then that high builds back in and kind of kicks it to the west. And that's kind of what feels like could happen this year, especially with the water temperatures in the western Atlantic are very warm. So anyway, we'll see. If there's anything left of that wave, it might be something to watch later, down the road, a week plus. Next Tuesday, we could see this wave entering this area. So that's a very hypothetical, far-fetched, maybe, but possible. So, but anyway, there you go. Heavy rain. All right. I posted some things I want to show you. Let me just show you the 7-day rainfall, kind of showing you why we're getting this extra rain. We got a little bit of flood I'm going to show you here that we need to watch on the east coast, Atlantic coast, south. So this is a lingering front line. It's going to start raining. This 7-day rain totals. Excessive rains today, not showing anything too much. We got a little bit in Texas, but as far as where most people are watching, there's today, here's tomorrow, but then things get a little wet. All right, this is on, I wonder, that's a weird graphic. It didn't really do very well. There's no, they got rid of their transparency. But anyway, this is Thursday, and you can start to see, northern North Carolina northward, and then we get into Friday. So here's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. and the rains go a little bit farther to the south. So we could have some heavy rain. All this whole mid-Atlantic southeast. This is Saturday rains, Friday, Thursday. So that front line's going to kind of pivot down a little bit in this heavy moisture. So not huge rain totals, but enough that that's worthy of talking about it. So Eleanor, yeah, we do have a cool down coming. I don't want to be talking all this heat. We do have a cool down coming. For everybody but Florida. There is a front coming down. This is that front right here that's bringing this rain. So, yeah, I like my auctioneer voice. Merritt Island, Snap Fade. We have a lot of folks from Merritt Island. John B. from Oldsmar. Have we ever bumped into each other, John B.? John B., I see him. I'm watching Outer Banks. It can't get any hotter, Rose. Sold. So, all right. There you go, Teresa Sampson. Morning. That looks familiar. Yeah. Heat advisory today. Yep. All right. So there's that. Let's get rid of that. All right. So tropics talking. All right. So when the Pacific's hot, usually the Atlantic's not. That's just been an old saying goes, and it always seems like it happens. This is a current map. We have Iona. I hope I pronounced it right. Iona. There was a major Cat 4 hurricane. I'm going to show you a graphic on that south of Hawaii. That's it. Five things in the Pacific. We got a red, we got a yellow, we got an orange, we got a storm and a hurricane. We got it all. Perfect hurricane setup. What I've seen over sometimes, where's Bobby at? She's not in here. Bobby started her page, Hurricane Harbor 2004, when I started. But sometimes when it's busy out here, that action sometimes spreads to the Atlantic. Just saying. Not guaranteed by any means, but the way the patterns work, they all start on the Indian Ocean side, Pacific. It all rotates, the MJO, all that just slides over. So when we see this much activity in the Atlantic or Pacific, sometimes it perks me up just a little bit because I'm like, well, that pattern might be sliding over. But again, there's nothing official. That's not wish casting. That's just reality. All right. So here's a little bit about, what was that? I don't even remember what the name of the storm. The storm south of Hawaii. I already forgot the name. Iona, I think. So what I wanted to point out today was it was a Cat 4. Okay, those are kind of rare out in the Pacific because the water temperatures usually aren't that warm, and it kind of formed to Cat 4 right on that edge of 27, 28 degrees Celsius. So it's actually warmer in the Gulf right now in spots in the Atlantic. So I wanted to point this out. So much discussion is always on the water temps, and I worry because we don't have the record SSTs, sea surface temperature, OHC, we had last year, but it doesn't mean it can't produce a bad hurricane. And that's, I hear a lot of folks, yeah, the waters are cooler, yay, they are cooler, but when everything else lines up, it can still become Cat 4. So this is just kind of showing you. And then the ocean heat content we talk a lot about is not that much at all, actually. So we have warm sea surface temperatures, but the ocean heat content, which is the fuel below the surface, isn't that strong. So we still maintain a 4 category 4 hurricane on kind of normal-ish water temps. So it can still happen. The wind shear was very light, which tropical systems need. So wind shear is obviously a big player in any storm becoming organized because storms need to grow upwards, have mid-level spin all the way up to the jet usually. So anyway, wind shear was light, helping this system, and it had a lot of moisture. It had a lot of moisture falling behind. It had a lot of moisture. So when you don't have any dusty, dry air, systems can really get going. So water temperatures are kind of nothing that big, but moisture and shear were very favorable. So it takes a lot to make things work, and it's not just one usually. So that made sense to you. So here we go. Here's this blob out here. What's up, Ian? This one's going to pull to your north, looks like. Oh, Bobby's there. We sure did. But there's this interesting, we're going to talk about this now. From here on out, we're going to talk about this. All right, so there's a wave. Man, I'm always stuck and the last year or two has been really rough because there's a lot of folks doing what I'm doing, and that's awesome. Everybody gravitates to who they like, but then I get mixed in with the ones that that are getting called out for sharing non-official stuff. But that's what we love to do. That's what I love, tracking things and watching weather patterns evolve. And so none of these posts, I always refer back to National Hurricane Center. There's no areas to watch in the next 7 days, so there's no reason to panic. Plenty of days ahead. So none of this is ever meant to scare anybody, and I don't really understand how people can get that out of my messaging, but they still do, and they like to go to their local Mets and tell them how much they hate Mike. But anyway, all right, so there you go. This is what it looks like. There's a lot of dusty, dry air out there, but we are getting this. So let me show you what I put up this morning. These are graphics I posted, and hopefully the messaging makes sense. I was a little surprised this morning, to tell you the truth. These are on tropicaltidbits.com. The top two and the bottom left are vorticity maps. These show you basic low-level spin in the atmosphere, okay? All of them are pulling to the north. So a couple of takeaways out of this is we got the Euro AI that's been nonstop showing this system, the wave I just showed, sometime around August 4th and 5th, somewhere here. And most of the Euro AI runs have a high-pressure building to the north and pushing it off to the west. Some of the AI runs had it getting kind of strong in the Gulf after. So, this is always a spot to watch, as we know. What surprised me last night, I didn't even really notice it until I ran the whole run, but the Euro is now doing what the AI is, and it's keeping this vorticity, pushing it off a little bit more to the west and giving it time to develop in the Gulf. Okay, so these are real scenarios that we just watch for. Canadian, showing it getting close to Florida and eventually pulled off. Canadian is not always the best with feeling upper level steering currents, but still weak spin. None of these three are showing anything organized. There's no panic there. These are just low pressure areas. But the icon sneaking in the picture, I know everybody, the icon was the outlier on the last system, but the icon now is grouped together with others, and there is August the 5th showing 1013 low pressure. So again, none of these are organized very strong, but being in this spot with warm waters and light wind shear and low dust, this could be, the beginning of an area to watch. So I was a little surprised to see the Euro now clinging on to the Euro AI, and so that's going to be an interesting pattern. Like I said, it might be totally gone at noon, but it might be totally back to tonight. But that's all. Just recognizing patterns, recognizing consistency, and what makes sense. I hope I made that kind of point. Now these are your ensembles, okay? Now these are tricky because the Euro is only showing 3 or 4, but it's kind of hinting to that formation maybe right before it starts to cross, okay? Euro AI in the bottom left, showing a few members starting to get going. We have some going to the north, and we have some hooking off to sea. So that's kind of what happens here. I already just talked about that, okay? And then the GFS 10 days not showing hardly anything, but do we trust the GFS? I'm more worried when the GFS doesn't show anything. So that is actually the opposite of how we should feel, but when the GFS is quiet, then I'm like, huh. So there's that. I do want to point out the MJO is going to be in a decent phase here, the green, the light green, so going to have some rising convection ability next week. So it's going to have a little bit of favorable condition there. The dust is questionable. This is going on tomorrow. Look at that. That's where so all that juice is going to be wrapped up in this little bubble right here. And sometimes it can fight off this dust. There's going to be dust to the north. It's going to try to wrap around our system, okay, as our system starts to lift. Now, this is the second, and this is the fourth right here. So, it's in heavy dust now, that dusty, dry air coming across the Atlantic. You can see a really good graphic on my site too, old school. We've used this one a bazillion times over the year. This one right here, where the hell is it right now? Oh, geez, Mike, now where did it go? Right here. Hadn't moved in 10 years. But here's kind of where we're at. Right there. Boom. Let's stop it. Let's go to the end here. So that red and yellow is a lot of dry air. There's that little bubble that was curious. It's still there, but there's no rotation with it. But this is where we're at today. So all this dry air, it's racing, but it's kind of created a little bubble, you know, so we'll just keep an eye on it. If you look at the wind maps, too, by the way, you can see the intertropics convergence zone right here. I don't even know my own website anymore, but here's the intertropics convergence zone. And you can see all kinds of little low-level spins happening out there. Now, this one actually tried to break off. Sometimes, you know, when they become independent and they actually break from the line here, then they end up having a chance to become something. So it's, you know, it's got a long road ahead of it. But, you know, a couple weeks ago we showed this a lot, and you know, we were getting a lot more winds, stronger winds feeding like that. It just creating a lot of wind shear, but now we're actually seeing the winds calm down, and we're getting these little mini vorticities popping up, which is the signs that, you know, it could be trying to get some sort of spin. There's 850 spin. I'm really surprised the NEC didn't mark it, but maybe it's because they don't think it'll develop in the next 7 days. That's the technical side of it, but yeah, there's, you know, a little spin. You know, that's how it starts. All right, so there's that. Let's close that. Let's look at, okay, so dust is going to eventually fizzle out. So that'll, you know, maybe create a little window here a little bit if there's anything left. But you can see the overall steering currents are kind of pulling to the north. Ian down in Jamaica definitely doesn't look like it's heading that way. Just reading Michael Kirby. And I appreciate the thanks. I'm all right. It doesn't really bother me anymore. It just really bothers me that, hey, Michael Anderson, I like the way you got lobsters, man. I'm hungry now, man. Get some good seafood. We haven't had any good crab in a while. Who's got good crab around here? Ryder Cash, what's up? All right, so we got the dust thing. All right, let's get rid of that. We got rid of that map here. So let's look at the individual models. Okay, so, hey, so again, all right, so let's go to the Euro. This is the Euro's first time jumping on board with the idea of something possibly trying to get going. Now, nothing's changed. We got whatever's out there. Let me just check moisture. There's a little wave right there. This is the first and second. So whatever is coming across, there's going to be some rains. Doesn't look organized at all. But this is where our wave's going to be on the first and the second. Okay? Northern part of the islands there, rain, pretty much it. And that's been showing up on all the models. But what happens is this. We're going to be watching a developing high, okay, which could prevent it from fish storming out of here. And, you know, there's just little, all right, so here's the second, very unorganized. This is just low pressure. But, you know, what it does, you know, it's very low pressure here on Tuesday the 5th. Again, this is just be rain. If, you know, this model came true, there's a little bubble, low pressure. You can see it right there. Nothing big, just a low pressure area on Tuesday the 5th. But what it does is it perks a little attention here, is it gets in the Gulf and kind of has a chance to try to get going there. And it kind of develops it pretty quick. Okay, and what this is kind of, you know, we know about repeat weather patterns. Okay, we just had a three-peat, you know, juice Invest 93 come around, high pressure builds back in, that juice comes back from the lingering front, it comes back again. We've had that 3 times. Sometimes weather patterns get in this routine of high builds this system, okay, a little bit of weakness, pulls the system, then the high builds back in. So now the Euro is really starting to show another system behind this one. But let's worry about one thing at a time. We'll not even worry about anything. There's no worry. I should have said worry. There's no worry about anything. Just pointing out what we're seeing. So, hey, Loretta Reed, morning, Tammy, morning, Bill, morning. Ugh, I had crabs. I'm so hungry. I want crabs tonight. Where can we go get crab legs? I will not eat all day, so I can eat all. You can eat crab legs. So this is interesting. Okay, it's definitely one model run. It's yeah, you know, but the pattern is interesting, and this would be, you know, something possibly to watch. Long way away, obviously, but just kind of pointed out there. This would be the following week, you know. So we're really just kind of paying attention to what's happening next Tuesday, and there's going to be some sort of low pressure here on Tuesday of next week. You know, does it do that? Does it do that? Does it do nothing? Does it go, you know, so. But the Euro showed that. I just wanted to point that out. We'll see what the afternoon Euro does. Canadian only goes out 10 days, but it's showing you basically this low pressure here. Let me go 10 days out, and it on the 5th has a low pressure area there. You can see a little bit of spin in the atmosphere if you really zoomed in on it. Okay, you can kind of see the blob here on the 1st and the 2nd coming across, and it's doing the classic curve. Definitely possible. But pattern, you know, there is consistent. The Euro AI has been nonstop, developing a low here Tuesday, August the 5th, and building a high pressure to the north and moving it through, you know, and here comes that other little system. Can't be quiet forever. There's always going to be a system. We just don't know when. But that's what the Euro's been showing, AI, and it's, you know, it's hugging Florida there a little bit. But again, we're looking at the pattern. Yesterday's 00Z had it cross through, kind of what the operational one's doing. I know that one in the background's hard not to look at. Here's 18Z. Didn't really do much. It just kind of kept it a sloppy mess, getting entangled with that frontal line. Yesterday's 12Z, a little bit stronger, kind of going up to the Gulf. So that's, you know, that's the Euro AI. The icon for the first time started showing it now. I was surprised to see that this morning. I didn't really expect it. But here is the low August the 2nd and starts to develop it August the 5th. So that's that. Now we just got to sit back, watch, wait, and see. You know, I think the high pressure building in, you know, if you look at the Euro, I think always has been one thing my buddy Dennis said years ago was the Euro is really good with upper air pattern and steering, and I've found that to be very true. So if we go to August the 4th, you know, we start to see high pressure building back in. So if anything were to try to develop, then, you know, there's high pressure here slowing its system across and then giving it a little window here. So, but it's going to change because, you know, yesterday it didn't really show any development down there, but it did show that high pressure at least, to keep that consistent. And it keeps showing this one coming in the picture. I know sometimes we focus so much on this first one that the one behind is the one that we got to watch, because the first one's kind of soaks up all the dust and the dry air, and then the one that comes in behind sometimes is the one that is the one. So anyway, Shelly texted me something. This is not good. Oh no, it's good. Talking about lobsters. Shelly's giving me lobster recommendations. That's really about my house, actually. Hell, Shelly. How many calories are in? Hey, why did they block you out? You just got hidden. That's weird. I had to unhide you. No really slow start, CM. Hey, good morning, Yoel. My boy. It's, you know, believe it or not, this is so weird, I know. It seems like a slow start to the season, but historically we're actually above normal, believe it or not. Am I going to go to Mini? What's Mini? Kathy from Laurel Hill, good morning. Which storm since you've been doing it's caught you completely off guard and unexpected? Jeffrey. Ones that unexpected. I think Sally might have been one that snuck up on everybody really quick. They've all kind of did what they were supposed to do. I think Beryl impacts through north. I think Beryl all the way to Maine was the big one that I think was a surprise, was how much it re-intensified at the coast, but then it really never lost its spin all the way up through Maine. I mean, there was 44 tornado warnings in New York. So I think maybe that with Beryl. So anyway. Hey, don't forget our party, Mr. Diaz. The end of August 29th, TBBC. Anyway, so that's about it. 10 o'clock. Let's do a couple more models and maps. I don't want to waste too much time on something that's not official, but you get the idea where I'm looking at. I wanted to show you the UK. The UK for August the 4th is not organized. This is not an organized system, but it is a low pressure system here showing with a little bit of spin. So again, just going to be watching this wave, how much survives as it crosses 60 degrees. You hear about 60 degrees a lot. This is basically Barbados westward. That's 60. So it really doesn't matter much until it crosses here. Let's look at the KMA, which did really decent the last couple of years, sniffing models out. I didn't even look today, so drum roll. And not really showing much, but it is showing it into the Gulf with high pressure to the north. This is a little bubble, nothing really. So yeah, so again, very low stress, just an idea. There is something coming in from behind that might be interesting. I bet you if we get a new global tropics hazards map today, they'll probably highlight that line behind it, because that one's looking really interesting, to tell you the truth. But man, we got to worry about short range stuff, not this hypothetical stuff down the road, because we know there'll always be something to watch. But this second one that's popping up is definitely, this is next weekend, on the week of, But yeah, the Euro's saying all in, man. Week from Sunday, boom, boom, boom. Euro AI, pretty much the same thing. All right, cool. That's about all I wanted to talk about. Here's the 15-day ensembles. Let me just show you these real quick. So the Euro at 10-day pretty much doesn't show much. Here's Euro 7-day. But then we get this lingering low, and it's starting to have a few pop over here. So it's giving you an idea, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, well, maybe crossing over. And then here's that new one coming in behind. The Euro AI kind of showing you the similar over pattern. 15-day, a lot of crossovers in 15 days, but also a lot that recurve. So our wave's going to slow down here somewhere on the 5th next week, and then we got to see what it does. Because it's hot water, man. There's areas that are cool, there's areas that are hot, but this is tropicaltidbits.com. But there's your water temperatures are above normal right now in that Western Atlantic and the Gulf, pretty much most of the Gulf. And that helps rapidly intensify systems more than normal. And that's all I got to say about that. I try to go to about 10 o'clock. So there you go. That's all I got to say about that. Steve, what's up, buddy? Hey, I saw your comment. I did post that photo. That was the sign that I looked for one time for you and never did. The dust is slowing down, Tammy. It's bound to. Usually August, those winds slow down out there. We're already seeing signs that the winds are slowing down, and that picks up less dust. So it's normal this time of year. Christine Springfield got a 2-day lobster season. Thank you, Gus. I'll be on Fox Weather tomorrow, 12:45 again. The 12 o'clock hour. Miss Habermill, good morning. Ryan Baker. It's hot. The water's hot, but you know what? It's actually not like it was. Well, it is getting hot. It's going to heat up really quick. But not like we saw a couple years ago. I mean, if you look at Brian McNulty's site here, the ocean heat content maps are great, and I'm glad he has these. They're not tremendously hot compared to other years, but we're starting to bump up a little bit. This is your mean from 13 to 24 blue, and then red is where we're at now, so it's starting to climb up. 23, 24 were the hottest, and we had all that energy in the Caribbean, but it's starting to come up, and it comes up quick. The Gulf here is kind of normal, because the Eastern Gulf is cool or warm. No, Western Gulf is cool. Eastern Gulf is warmer, so it averages out. Gulf's always about the same. It's really what happens here in the peak months we really got to pay attention to, which I have a feeling with these high pressures that we're seeing. But there is a cool down coming. Let's talk about that real quick. I think it's going to reach most everybody except for Florida. Here's your 6-10 today temperature outlook. There you go. So cooler temperatures are underway, August 3rd to the 7th. Normal, cooler, and then it'll be back hot again. So better enjoy it. 8 to 14 day outlook, August 5th through the 11th, and then week 3, week 4 outlooks, August 9th through the 22. So, hey, better enjoy it. All right. Talked enough today. So stay indoors. It's hot. We got record-breaking heat index. Maybe we'll hit 100 again today. Now with these winds, it takes a perfect setup for Tampa to hit 100. Let's see what Euro has been pretty accurate with these temperatures lately. So let's take a look at Tampa Bay. Just curiosity. High today. It's inching 97, 98. Dew points, and anytime a dew points in the 80s, oh my God, it was incredible heat yesterday. St. Petersburg. So anyway, Ryan Baker, when's your birthday, man? Hudson, crazier than last year. Caleb, I don't know. I mean, it's almost the same weather pattern as far as steering currents go. So yeah, that means that we could see some more west moving tropical systems. Every storm's different, man. Every storm has its story, right? One thing that just stands out for west central Florida northward is the amount of surge that we had from a storm that was 100 miles off the coast. So that was the wake up for folks, So you're gonna turn 45 like a record player. Well, congrats. Palmetto Bay. We'll say a couple more hellos and we gotta go. We got stuff to do today. And then we'll sign off on the Brew crew. Brandon has caught a lot of tornadoes, Brandy. I am very impressed with him and his storm coverage. But I'll be the God, now I got lobster in my mind, Shelly. Is there a lot of calories in lobster? I hope not. Oh, anyway, we don't want an Andrew, Dave. Nope. But man, you just Those storms in the Western Atlantic are the ones that just pop up quick, man. They just feed off of that ocean heat content. No butters? Okay. Well, don't eat butter. No butter. I'm actually losing weight, so I gotta keep that trend going. What am I doing today, Gary? Well, I don't know, man. Oh, what am I doing? What's fun today? I got some big emails, phone call. I got a couple people that want me to speak. I gotta finalize. Whether I did get my Android Auto adapter that's supposed to allow me some more functions on my dash. I might play with that on my truck. We might have some big storms again later. But Webb, I got to do that. Hey, your friend Amber. Yeah, okay. There's another thing I got to do. I forgot. I'm doing these voiceovers for Amber's book. So yeah, I'm gonna send those to her here in a second. Glad you mentioned that. Maybe I'll do them during my my brew crew. They can listen to me. All right, so that's it. We're gonna sign off. We'll be live tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're just casually watching Tropics. There's nothing official out there to worry about. There's nothing official to look at. So hopefully you got that enough out of this little discussion. And everything else, just watching a repeat weather pattern today. It looks like up in the north, this energy rides around these highs. Several days of the same thing. But when we get these big high pressure systems, all this energy flows around the top side, and we get a lot of storms right here. So repeat pattern today. Up north, probably wind. There's your wind. That's a different wind map. Oh no, we still have a hatched area. So hatched areas are hurricane force winds today. A little farther south. Day 2 tomorrow, a little more energy up north. Not like today though. And then a very calm day 3. As that front comes down. I guess we can look at temps one more time. Nah, I gotta save for temps for tomorrow. I'm talking too much. All right, so hey, listen everybody. I will, Webb. Thanks for watching, and appreciate it. And I hope you have a great day. We'll be live again tomorrow on Wednesday, okay? And I'll do a little 90-second video probably after the afternoon models come out, because there's no point to post 2 hours before the 12Zs come out. So